Welcome back to RR Corporates. In today's legal analysis video, we break down a landmark judgment of Bombay High Court in case of Nandkumar Infrastructure LLP versus Superintendent Engineer and Others. Here the takeaways, the court held that an LLP can claim the prior experience of the partner who earlier operated a proprietorship for the purpose of the public tender eligibility. This judgment has a huge implications for business entities, especially contractors, transitioning from sole proprietorship to LLPs and seeking to participate in the government tenders. So let's unpack the facts, legal arguments, judicial findings, and broader implications of this important decision. If you see the background of the case, the proprietor, Nandkumar Infrastructure LLP, submitted its bid, but the technical bid was rejected solely on the ground that LLP failed to submit notarized business transfer agreement showing transfer of experience from the earlier proprietorship, Mr. Nandkumar Constructions. So interestingly, the same individual who ran the proprietorship later became the designated partner in the LLP. The petitioner claimed the business was essentially a continuation and that is past experience should be considered valid. Now the legal issue before the court is, can LLP claim the work experience of a former proprietorship where the proprietor became a partner in the LLP? Is it mandatory to submit a notarized business transfer agreement when such condition is not mentioned in the tender document? Does rejecting a bid on such a technical ground violates Article 14 of the Constitution? So the arguments from both sides. Petitioner's argument was tender documents did not require a notarized transfer document. Experience was proved through certificates, work orders, and other documents. So the transition from proprietorship to LLP was seamless. So cited Supreme Court ruling in New Horizons Limited versus Union of India 1995 held that the experience of a partner can be considered the experience of the firm. Cited supportive judgments from Delhi, Kerala, Punjab, Haryana High Courts. Then what about the respondents? State and successful bidder arguments. LLP and proprietorship are legally distinct. This is the respondents' judgments, the respondents' arguments. As per Section 23 and Section 60 of LLP Act, LLP must execute a formal transfer. No formal merger, that is equal to no transfer of credentials, relied on the importance of the strict procedural compliance in the public procurement. So these were the respondents' arguments. So legal framework involved here is Section 23 of the LLP Act 2008. It covers execution of the agreements and registration. Coming to Section 60 of the LLP Act deals with the compromise, arrangements, reconstruction, often cited in the formal mergers. And Article 14 of the Constitution prohibits arbitrary and unequal treatment by the state. New Origins case 1995, 1 SEC 478 held that experience of constituent members can be considered firm's experience. So now we'll see the Bombay High Court judgment. The court rejected the state's technical objection, held that tendering authority acted arbitrarily by demanding notarized business transfer agreement when it was not required in the tender. The court applied that New Origins principle and held the experience of a proprietor shall be considered the experience of the LLP. If the same person becomes a partner in LLP. So most importantly, the court said whether there is an actual merger of business or not becomes irrelevant once the principle of continuity through partner is established. The court found petitioner provided sufficient document providing experience. Rejection based on non-existing procedural requirement was patently unfair. So while the court did not directly award the contract, it directed the petitioners financial bid be open, ordered negotiation between the two lowest bidders and to maintain transparency. So here the key takeaways: LLP can validly claim the experience of a partner who was earlier a sole proprietor. The same person continues to be involved. Formal merger is not mandatory because the same person is continuing. Tender conditions cannot be expanded arbitrarily by adding a new documentation requirements. Public procurement must balance compliance with fairness. Judicial review is justified when rejection is arbitrary, exclusionary, or against constitutional equality. So the implications for businesses: encourage a small and medium business transitioning to LLPs. This definitely will encourage transitioning to LLPs. So brings legal clarity to contractors relying on prior experience. This reduces unfair disqualification in public procurement. These are the implications of this judgment. Reinforces the value of judicial precedents and substantive fairness. So to conclude, Bombay High Court's verdict is a progressive ruling in administrative and procurement law. It strikes a finance balance between legal formality and commercial reality. It reaffirms that real merit and experience should not be overshadowed by unnecessary technical formalities, especially when public interest and competition are at stake. This judgment is a boon for LLPs and guidepost for future tender evaluations. If you found this video, like, subscribe, and don't forget to share with your friends. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you will not miss any of the updates. We have two channels, RR Corporates and RR Legal Talks. Subscribe to two channels, RR Corporates, other channel, RR Legal Talks.